this is. Oh! My. So smooth, so slick. They are flying. Oh, that's special. They are the history makers.
Haven't they just been absolutely brilliant? And who envies Tottenham right now? Because today it's their turn to try and stop City. Mind you, Spurs are unbeaten in 4 against the Blues and are now looking to make it 3 wins on the bounce, with that man up front looking for more goals, of course. Good evening, welcome to the biggest game of the day. It's lovely to have you along with us. And as you can see here in the studio with me, 2 serial winners in Frank Lampard and Rio Ferdinand. Lovely to see you both. The scores from today are on the screen right now. Scores which have put a little bit of pressure on Tottenham coming into this one in that fight for the top 4. But look, with all of what you achieved down the road at Salford on the red side of Manchester, Rio, you must still look at this Manchester City team out there warming up now. I just think they have been nothing short of brilliant.
Yeah, I think I have to put my support for Manchester United aside when there's that much quality that's going on out there on that pitch for this Manchester City team. It's hard, but my respect for Pep Guardiola and the tactical genius that he is, you have to respect this. There's nothing but respect you can give this bunch of players that he's got. Yet they haven't won anything yet. Everything's like, yeah, they're great now. They've got to win something to then command that extra respect that they deserve. But on the way at the moment, they're looking to break records at this rate that they're going. And
you can see there the top flight winning runs. 16 they can make it today. You two both had incredible careers, and the best you achieved was 11 each, winning games on the run. So how good is this side? People have already started to talk about invincibles and the best we've ever seen in the Premier League. Is it too early for that?
It's too early for that, yeah, definitely. As Rio just alluded, they've not won anything yet. They'll have to do it, maybe not even just over a course of 1 season, but over a period of time, 2 or 3 seasons. And I think that's the difference. But what you have to look at with them and say how great they've bought brilliantly. The recruitment's been fantastic. It's now Pep's team how he wanted it to be, and the players have improved. He's improved them all individually. Even David Silva's not playing today. He's 31 years of age, and he's got an extra 15% out of his game. So they've improved individually and collectively as a team.
Yeah, and we'll hear from one of the players he's improved as well in just a couple of moments. But as Frank said, David Silva does miss out today. Let's confirm actually the team's view. And the reason why David misses out is simply for personal reasons. That's what we've been told by Pep and Manchester City. But the changes are 3 for both sides. Walker, Sane and Gundogan come in for City. Meanwhile, Trippier, Dembele and crucially Dele Alli all return for Tottenham today. But let's start then by hearing from a guy who is loving life here. He's scoring goals, he's scoring big goals, impressive goals and late goals.
The only thing I can think about was trying to go into the box at first and try to drive into the box. That was all blocked, so seeing Kevin tried to shift and shoot, but they blocked it again. He gave a good layoff and the touch was perfect because it just set it up right. I couldn't take it 1 step and try and find it towards the far post.
Raheem Sterling!
It was a great moment.
Oh my goodness! The last kick of the game! Raheem Sterling has done it again!
Obviously it was a bit over the top to run and celebrate like that, but you know, that's how much it means.
Any idea why you're popping up with so many late goals?
I always believed that there's a goal coming for me in the game, and that was my mentality this season. You know, if I haven't scored in the first half, I said, yeah, it's coming, and just have belief. As you go on the pitch, sometimes you can have that feeling, and I've been having that feeling all season that with the belief, I think we can win a lot of games.
A lot of people thought you might be the fall guy this season. How good does it feel to prove them wrong?
It's not about proving them wrong. Everyone has a problem with anything I do, so it doesn't really matter what it is I could be doing well. I know what I need to do to get better. I know what I need to do to reach the level I want to reach, and my main focus is definitely not focusing on what people think.
Can you take us back to when you were a young lad? Were you a different guy on the football pitch?
Thank God there wasn't cameras for when I was, what, 14, 13 on the pitch. It was not a good sight. I'm very emotional, yeah, very angry. Took everything to heart on the football field, tackles, everything. But now I just look at it and brush everything off, and I'm happy to be growing, happy to be getting better as a footballer, but most importantly as a person.
There's a clip that's done the rounds, I'm sure you've seen it, where you're with Pep. I know lots been made of it, but can you try and explain what he was actually saying in that? Because that Feyenoord goal looked like what you're practicing on the training pitch came together.
He was talking about when the ball comes from a centre midfielder, it's to have your body on a half shape, because normally I was controlling the ball with the outside of my foot, and he just basically said if you control it in the inside, it takes it away, and you're one-on-one versus the left back instead of taking it trapped under your foot, and it's longer, takes more time, and he was just basically giving me an insight of something that I became sloppy on. It gives his players confidence, it gives his players belief that we can go and take the world on, really, and that's a credit to him. He has a great mentality in winning, and he wants to win, and I think that rubs off onto all of us.
What a season this man's having. Look, it's easy and it's lazy to just put the success here down to spending loads of money, because that completely ignores the fact that Pep has largely improved every single player he inherited, including this guy.
Yeah, that's an interesting interview there, and I think the interesting thing there is what they're talking about he's teaching him there. One of the most simple things you teach a young player, you probably teach that at 10 years of age, receive the ball sideways on, but it's the way you convey the message. And sometimes we get caught up in football trying to find a complicated answer, you can do this and beat people. Sometimes that basic simple message is something that can turn a player, and I think that's the sort of thing he's done with obviously Raheem Sterling, but other players in the team.
Yeah, I love to see this with Raheem Sterling. He showed great promise at Liverpool, again coming here, and the question was, can he take on the information that Pep Guardiola is going to give him? We all know it. Pep Guardiola is an educator, someone who wants to instill confidence and different tactics within players, but can you take that on board? And he's a young English player who had huge faith in, hammered by the English press after the World Cup, and has come back now to being an integral part of this City team. And that's credit to him as someone who's been a sponge and taken it all on board, and he wants to learn, and young kids need to take that on board. He was at Liverpool, went for £50 million, still knows that he has to improve and has to work.
It's a great message, and of course it all comes from the manager, as does that self-belief that just gets you scoring late goals in games. This season they've managed 13 goals in the final 15 minutes of matches. That's more than West Brom and Swansea have scored in total in the season.
Well, it's no coincidence. I mean, supporters of other clubs will be checking that last-minute goal going in and sort of going, oh, they're lucky, they've done it again and all that stuff. There's no coincidence. This is a build-up of pressure throughout a game. They move the ball, they work teams tirelessly, so they break them down late in games. And spirit and belief, as you say there. Once you start to believe that, once you get on that roll, these things will either fall in your favour, like that chance there for Raheem Sterling, or a moment of brilliance wins you a game. They're doing it always.
Also, what it does is it creates a nervousness within the stadium for the opposing team. So the team you're playing against, they sense that you're capable of scoring, and the confidence that comes through your team, the way you're playing, is that we believe we're going to score. Your demeanour is we believe we're going to score. So that in the end, teams track back to the edge of their box and think, you know what, they're almost sitting there waiting to be beaten. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. OK, thank you, gentlemen. Right, so how do Tottenham do what nobody has managed so far this season, which is come here and win a game of football? In fact, to put today's challenge in context for Spurs, the last side to win here in the Premier League was Chelsea 378 days ago. We'll hear from both managers next.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Right, what are we talking about here? We're talking about cricket? Big Bash cricket. The biggest hitters in the game. The crowd goes wild. That is Big Bash cricket, mate.
The Big Bash starts Tuesday, live on BT Sport.
Your odds from William Hill lets you create and bet on your own markets. Tweet us direct from the William Hill app or from Twitter, and we'll reply with the odds. Join over 300,000 Your Odds customers and view their markets. Spot something you like? One click, it's in your bet slip and you're on. More markets, more choice, and now available on Google Play. William Hill. This is more.
Introducing the Renault crossover range, featuring the all-new Koleos, Renault Kadjar and new Captur. Get up to £6,000 off a brand new Kadjar with the Renault scrappage scheme, now with 4.9% APR representative.
Get ready! Moving it!
For the players.
If you want to be a world traveller, start by... Whoa, is that a Galaxy S8 with Bigsby? Handsome screen. Anyway, you want to pack that and... Whoa, okay, we're on the move. You'll need a tour guide. Apparently not. Don't forget your big camera, or that phone will do a cracker job. Travelling by yourself can be lame. And look at you, you've got a ton of new friends. Ooh, llamas. You gotta love a llama. I guess you've got this world traveller thing covered. And I reckon you got Crimbo covered too. Nice one.
Wouldn't it be great to have your own little helper this time of year?
Me?
Not you. Google Home Mini. OK, Google, tell me about my day.
Sure, it's Christmas Day, your cooking family lunch.
OK, Google, what temperature do you cook a turkey at?
The perfect temperature is 175 degrees.
OK, Google, play my washing up playlist. Google Home Mini, your own little helper this Christmas, the Google way.
Alan can't contain his excitement, and neither will you. Now there's a free prize with every purchase at the Carphone Warehouse £10 million giveaway. £100,000 cash, Mini Coopers, and loads of other prizes. So, buy yourself one of the latest Nokia Android range on pay-as-you-go. Like the Nokia 3 handset from just $79.99. At Carphone Warehouse, we compare, you save.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome back, nice to have you with us. They've got plenty to talk about, haven't they, these Spurs players, because in 17 attempts as their boss, Maurizio Pochettino has won just once away against last season's top six. So it really is a tall order for the Londoners. There they are in a huddle on the pitch at the moment. Just to remind you, tonight from 2 o'clock in the morning, you can see Fight Night Live coverage of Billy Joe Saunders' first overseas bout as he defends his WBO middleweight belt against Lemieux. Should be a good fight, that one, if indeed you can stay up for it. But we're getting close to kick-off here, so let's hear from both the managers. They're with Des.
Pep, does keeping this winning run going get tougher and tougher? You made a very good point about video analysis, the amount of information is available. You're still going.
Of course, it will be tougher. So we have in one side a lot of confidence. For the other side, we can still a little bit, you know, relax or confuse what we have to do, because every game will be tougher, and especially today against a team like Tottenham. So I said yesterday in the press conference, so that is not normal. What happened that season with 50 wins in a row, that is not normal. So sooner or later, of course, we want to maintain it, but sooner or later we'll come back to normality. Is one team normally lose games.
Looking at today's team, David Silva's missing, Gundogan's come in. Is David injured? What's the news?
No, it's a personal issue.
How do you beat this Manchester City side?
That is the question for during 6 months, I think, here in England. And they are a fantastic side, and they are playing so well. And of course, that our mentality is try to win. It's always every single game try to win. And of course that we are going to fight a lot for that happen. But of course, yes, we are in front. So far, the best team, I think, in England.
Both you and Maurizio Pochettino seem more excited about this game than most because of the challenge it represents. Are you looking forward to pitting wits with one another?
Well, every game, no, especially. Every game is different. Every game has a manager and players who do different things, and you have to discover what they do with the quality you have to try to beat them.
And there's some great matchups all around the field. You're spoiled for choice for good fullbacks. But you've chosen Danny Rose today up against Kyle Walker. That'll make it interesting.
No, we are always choosing our best side, our best player to try to win in every game. It's always about the decision about how we want to approach the game. And of course, good challenge in between them, sure.
We shall see how this one unfolds. Look, we talk about, with City, the goals, the beautiful play, the lovely build-up, but how are they so effective? How do they break teams' spirit?
We mentioned it before the game, sitting here. They suffocate teams. With the ball, they pin you back. Look, you can see here the numbers behind the ball. Jesse Lingard, the closest player to Lukaku, isolation at its best there. He's playing against two players. Invariably, the two players are going to win. They outnumber him there. Here again, pin you back. Players behind the ball, you have to retreat when you're playing with so many players, attacking players against you, and they lock you in. It's almost like prison. They just put you in there. When you win the ball, they win it straight off you because they're so close, and they just pin you back and lock you down, and you can't get out. How do you get out? One long ball to Lukaku. He's got two players to play against and a keeper to get past. It's almost impossible. And here, on the front foot defending, not only when they've got it, but when they haven't got it. These are attacking players here who you don't associate with defending, but the first thing on their mind when they haven't got the ball is a work rate, an effort and a work ethic to get against players and show them back towards goal.
And see where the Man City players are on the move as the ball's moving to the Manchester United players, so they get no time on the ball. If you're receiving the ball, you've got not even 1 or 2 seconds, you've got half a second. It means that Manchester United play back, and they play back. They can't get a head up and look forward, hence they can't play that forward pass to hurt City.
So what do you do if you're Tottenham?
We'll find a weakness, and there aren't many. I mean, I think that if there is one weakness when I look at City, I think it's their attacking play is so good. They push their fullbacks so high that if there is a possible weakness, it's behind the fullbacks. We see Delph here pressing very hard the pitch. If you can get that ball into that channel early and one-on-one with Mangala or Otamendi, you're talking about Tottenham here today. That could be Harry Kane, could be Son, could be Dele Alli running into the channels. You can get in behind them. When you try and win the ball back quickly here, again, Delph's opened up. He's a midfield player at heart. He's opened up. That channel opens. Again, we've seen Harry Kane in that position many a time. He's a player that can hurt you in those areas.
And then when you do win the ball, you've got to have players who can actually turn and face behind the actual Manchester City midfielders, the Fernandinhos, the De Bruynes, the Gundogan's today, other than Silva. And then when you get here, you're playing against players who you'd expect to beat if you're Harry Kane. You expect him to play against the centre-halves and beat him if he gets 1v1. And here, a bit of composure into the likes of Dele Alli. Then it's down to composure, ability, turn and face in midfield, get the other side of him, and then this is where Harry Kane wants you. He wants you playing the ball through to him, and if he gets in 1v1 today here against Otamendi and Mangala, he'll have the confidence and belief that he should be taking them on and getting goals. And these two, it's important. Dele Alli and Christensen come out and cheat a little bit to join him.
I think bravery on the ball today. They need to be brave. When Winks gets it in those positions, as he did there, get out your feet and play that pass forward. That early pass can break the press, and then you can get at them.
How much of an impact would it have on Tottenham, the fact that David Silva's not in this team today, when you get into the dressing room and see that he's not there?
Well, I will be happy if I'm Tottenham. I think the link between him and De Bruyne, he's scoring goals, but not just that. He's a cog in the middle of the park. He's a bit of magic. And I'm not saying Gundogan's not that, but his natural instincts are not as offensive and as high level, I think, as David Silva. So it's a weakness. Listen, City have got great players still, but I think for Tottenham, you go, we'll take that he's not playing.
And we've seen some frustration from Pep in the last few weeks. I think that he just wants a football team to come and play football against Man City. You sort of get the impression if anyone's equipped to do that, probably Tottenham are better than almost anybody.
Yeah, they are, but I think Pep as well, I think he's just looking to see how his players react. I think everything about him is about education and learning. He wants to see from his players how they react if a team do come out and go toe-to-toe. Have they got the tools to be able to do that? Have they listened tactically to be able to deal with them situations? And then that will help this team to evolve over a period of time, later stages of tournaments like the Champions League, and when it gets to the nitty-gritty back end of the season.
Looking forward to this one?
I really am, and I think, listen, we can all keep talking about City, the deservedly so, but Tottenham, I think they do have the tools to hurt them if they get their game right.
OK, it's a good night, you know, for cups of tea and hot chocolate and woolly hats as well. It's cold out there. Let's hope the football keeps a smile on people's faces. Oh, look who's in the house, Roberto Martinez. Lovely. OK, kick-off comes next here at the Etihad. Manchester City welcoming Tottenham.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Unbelievable. Too right. You gotta love Betway's new 4 to score feature. Why? Because it's free to play every week. You simply predict the first teams to score in the top 4 English leagues. Something. I will. I could win 25 grand. Hurry! You don't need to ask me twice. Done. I've got a good feeling about this. Really? Oh, electrifying stuff. Oh, for the love of the game. Betway.
Technology is worthless if it doesn't give you an edge. The new Nissan Qashqai. Expect more. New intelligent technologies, new design.
If you want to be a world traveller, start by... Whoa, is that a Galaxy S8 with Bigsby? Handsome screen. Anyway, you want to pack that and... Whoa, okay, we're on the move. You'll need a tour guide. Apparently not. Don't forget your big camera, or that phone will do a cracker job. Travelling by yourself can be lame. And look at you, you've got a ton of new friends. Ooh, llamas. You've got to love a llama. I guess you've got this world traveller thing covered. And I reckon you got Crimbo covered too. Nice one.
Next, the young man whose FIFA 18 move sent the world into a spin.
Play it on Xbox One.
Wouldn't it be great to have your own little helper this time of year?
Me?
Not you. Google Home Mini. OK, Google, tell me about my day.
Sure, it's Christmas Day, your cooking family lunch.
OK, Google, what temperature do you cook a turkey at?
The perfect temperature is 175 degrees.
OK, Google, play my washing up playlist. Google Home Mini, your own little helper this Christmas, the Google way.
Alan can't contain his excitement, and neither will you. Now there's a free prize with every purchase at the Carphone Warehouse £10 million giveaway. £100,000 cash, Mini Coopers, and loads of other prizes. So, buy yourself one of the latest Nokia Android range on pay-as-you-go. Like the Nokia 3 handset from just $79.99. At Carphone Warehouse, we compare, you save.
Offers cutbacks, I'm afraid. We've rented out the office toilets to an internet startup, so we're going to have to build our own on the main floor space. Some of you may contract a fatal disease due to bad sanitation, but we're having cutbacks anyway, so it'll be like killing two birds with one stone. When is Sharon coming back? Is cholera like a 48-hour thing, or is it going to be longer?
Text toilet to 70060 to give Water Aid £3 now.
This is nice. The arch could have been gold, Mr. Trick. Not great. The Emirates FA Cup and BT Sport. No fake games. I'm a very smart guy. You need to know that. And if you're smart like me, I highly think you should watch the third round. Beautiful round. The underdogs round. It's very important. I know what it's like to be the little guy. I've been a billionaire underdog since the day I was born. Look at me, I'm very successful. The Emirates FA Cup and BT Sport trumps all other competitions. Trust me, I know.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
It's sunsetting here, isn't it? Welcome back to the day's late game, a day where results have already dropped this Tottenham side to 6th in the Premier League. The top four fight is so intense. Will they get anything here today, Frank?
I do fancy City. I think the quality, the confidence in the team at the minute, but not by much, a tight one, but I think City.
I think if Spurs are brave and they can have players that get near to Harry Kane, that man in picture there just behind Lewis, they'll have a chance of getting a draw.
It's one of those days, though, where we just don't know whether Tottenham are going to sit deep, hit them on the counter, or just go for City and see how they react. No one's done it.
I think Pochettino is a brave manager. Normally, I think that he's someone who'll come out and try and play to their strengths rather than think about Manchester City's strengths, and that's where I think it lies for Manchester for Spurs. I think Dele Alli and Christensen being close to being close to Harry Kane is going to be vital for this team and getting something out of it.
And City have left them waiting quite a long time in the tunnel. Is there a little bit of psychology there? I suppose it just gets you thinking when you're standing there, doesn't it?
I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. They can do what they want in a minute, City, can't they? Turn up when they want. But I think. Listen. I think for Tottenham, I think I don't think they can sit back. I think if you sit back, you're in danger of being waiting to be beaten. I think that whatever they do, they have to get pressure on the ball, try and get their top players on the ball in an attacking sense.
OK, well, those people paying thousands of pounds to sit and have lunch the other side of that mirror are certainly getting their money's worth today, because Tottenham have been standing in there waiting for City for a while. But as you can see, City have finally made it into the tunnel, so the players will be walking in a couple of seconds. So let me hand you over to Glenn Hoddle, Steve McManaman and Darren Fletcher. Darren, we're really up for the game in the studio. You know, it's one of those matches where you just don't know how it's going to play out, do you?
I think, Jake, this one could be absolutely fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Tottenham Hotspur, the latest team to try and stop the Manchester City record breakers, but it is a Manchester City team tonight minus David Silva, which was surely a boost to those Tottenham Hotspur players when the team sheets came out at about 4:30 this afternoon. The Wednesday night's dismantling of Swansea made it 15 wins in a row for City. Everton, the only team to stop them winning in the Premier League this season. Shakhtar Donetsk in a Champions League dead rubber, the only team to beat them in any competition so far. The Etihad is ready. It's a daunting task ahead for Spurs. Can they halt the Manchester City juggernaut? Sit back and enjoy this one.
Taker steps up. Oh no, look at the anguish. So disappointment, but wait for it. Look at that spin on the ball. Goalkeeper, you should have stayed at home. Unbelievable. And so's this.
Get better odds with Ladbrokes Odds Boost. Select your in-play bet now on this game, hit the boost button in your bet slip and watch your odds grow.
Goalkeeper says, no, it can't. Striker says, has it? Available from App Store and Google Play. When the fun stops, stop.
So the headline team news from Manchester City is the absence from the 18 of David Silva. He's been just about unplayable in recent weeks. Ilkay Gundogan replaces him in the midfield. He's one of 3 changes made by Pep Guardiola from midweek. Kyle Walker returns against his old club at right back, and Leroy Sané is in for Bernardo Silva. Vincent Kompany and John Stones are still out injured. As for Tottenham, well, they've made 3 changes as well. Kieran Trippier replaces Serge Aurier at right back. It's Moussa Dembele for Moussa Sissoko in midfield. Dele Alli also returns, he's in for Eric Lamela. Danny Rose keeps his place at left back, directly up against Kyle Walker in this one. Davinson Sanchez is still suspended. Wanyama and Alderweireld still out injured. Glenn Hoddle alongside me. Glenn, give people watching this a couple of things to look at, because this one's intriguing, isn't it?
Well, I just think that City is so strong in that midfield area with De Bruyne and David Silva. Now, at the end of the day, he's not playing, so it's a real emphasis on Gundogan, whether he comes in there and can actually function like City have been. As for Spurs, they've picked a very offensive team. For me, I think they're going to press in certain spells. I don't think you can press the City side for 90 minutes, but their Champions League form, they counter so quickly.
Thank you, Glenn. There's Sergio Aguero, who starts the game on 99 goals here at the Etihad Stadium for Manchester City, and he's also got 10 in his last 11 appearances against Tottenham. The former Heung-min Son has been key for Spurs in recent weeks. He's scored in 4 successive matches and got 8 goals in the last 12 games, providing excellent support for Harry Kane. Pep Guardiola and Mauricio Pochettino were both managing in the same city at the same time in Spain. Guardiola at Barcelona and Pochettino at Espanyol. Both of them know how high the stakes are here today. So the scene is set at the Etihad for the big one in the Premier League this weekend. The programme also available for BT TV customers on BT Sport 4K UHD, channel 433, and is presented with Dolby Atmos. And BT Sport has instant replays available in 360 via the BT Sport app on tonight's match. Well, the big games continue to come for Craig Pawson. He was in charge of the Merseyside derby last weekend. He's got this one this evening, and Graham Poll is here with us. Manchester City start the game 11 points clear at the top, 18 ahead of Tottenham. Spurs know a win will put them back into the top four. City are disappearing into the distance. It's a game that has the rest of the Premier League challengers pulling for Tottenham Hotspur. City's history makers are out to put on another show. The light blue for Manchester City, the change strip for Tottenham. Really looking forward to this one, Steve.
That should be a cracker, shouldn't it? I'm really interested to see how both teams set up as well. We know everybody's mentioned David Silva not playing. He's been in incredible form of late. That's certainly a plus for Tottenham, slight negative for Man City. I'm looking forward to seeing how Eriksen, Harry Kane, everybody on that right side tries to get at Mangala and maybe Fabian Delph. So it should be really intriguing.
Kyle Walker's first touch there against his old side. Sergio Aguero looking to lay it off to Kevin De Bruyne. And Moussa Dembele, one of the players brought back in by Mauricio Pochettino for this one, was there to break it up for Spurs. There's De Bruyne on it again. City looking to make the quick start, although slightly off target towards Sergio Aguero. History does tell you that Mauricio Pochettino tends to be on the front foot against Guardiola teams. We'll see whether he does that again today. But Spurs, another one of the sides dealing with a reversal of fortunes with Manchester City. They were 8 points ahead of Pep Guardiola's side at the end of last season. To be 18 behind them after 17 games shows how dominant City have been. Much there by Harry Kane.
Little diagonal ball, wasn't it, played in? You just see the nudge on Delph, making sure that he was going to get the ball up. I don't think he'd have got it without the nudge, so good refereeing early doors. There you see the press from Tottenham straight away. 4 players really up high in the last third, tempting them to play out and then going to press them.
Press versus press tonight, isn't it?
Yes. Well, why not? They're not the tallest of side up front, are they, Manchester City? So anything in the air, you would presume Tottenham would have a great chance of trying to get it back.
Well, that kind of ball out, though, from Ederson is exactly what Manchester City have got that can beat pretty much any
just
press.
Just a 40-yard ping from the goalkeeper.
What a pick out that was. Brilliant.
Here's Moussa Dembele. It's going to be fascinating which of these sides can get a grip of midfield. There's also a really nice cameo out there today with Danny Rose starting at left back against Kyle Walker at right back. 2 players who'll try and dominate their particular side of the pitch.
Yeah, it'd be a good race, wouldn't it? They've got to take the ball with them, though. They've both got pace, but to a certain degree, since Kyle Walker's come here, he hasn't actually got as forward as he needed at Tottenham. They're playing him in a slightly different role where he pops into midfield at times.
There's Eric Dyer for Tottenham, one of the 2 centre-backs alongside Jan Vertonghen today. You wonder over the course of 90 minutes how much they'll miss the likes of Wanyama and Alderweireld, and maybe even more so Davinson Sanchez. 2 of them injured, the other one suspended. 16 wins and a draw so far for Manchester City. They've scored the most goals and jointly conceded the fewest. It's as dominant a start to a top-flight season as we've seen. And Marco Arnautovic, as you can see, has scored against his old club for West Ham at Stoke. Well, that game delayed because of a power cut early this afternoon, and we'll give you the full time of that one as soon as we have it. Here's Winks and now Eriksen. Son moved aside by Walker.
Straight away you can see the evidence that Tottenham they're not going to be dropping in, they're not going to try and counter too much, they're looking to take the game to City. They've started on the front foot, they're throwing fullbacks forward. Can they open this City defence up playing that way?
Here's Eriksen and now Son. Eriksen there, run into Delph, clip through towards Dele Alli. There's a good run made here by Trippier, and it was Leroy Sané in there defensively for Manchester City. 1 or 2 in this City team today. Might just have to do 1 or 2 things they haven't done in many matches so far if Tottenham can press them back for sustained periods. Plenty have tried and all of them have failed pretty much so far. and really slipped through midfield by Manchester City. Fernandinho then couldn't get Aguero away, but it's going to be brought back for the foul on De Bruyne.
Yeah, it was a foul, wasn't it? By Dembele. Referee played the advantage. See Roberto Martinez as he is, a number of Belgians out on the field today. He wants a yellow, he shouldn't be doing it.
Walker, now Sterling. Sterling's form has been so impressive this season. One of the City players to really profit by working under Guardiola. Aguero challenged there by Trippier. Gundogan had just blocked off the path back to the goalkeeper there. Here's Fabian Delph operating down that left-hand side for Manchester City. Son for Tottenham. Both teams really keen to get as many bodies around the ball early on to stop the opposition making the quick start. There's Pep Guardiola. His first defeat as the Manchester City manager was against Tottenham last season. Since then he's pretty much transformed this Manchester City side beyond belief, really. Kevin De Bruyne, Dele Alli with a foot in. Harry Winks can get Tottenham on their way. Eriksen, though, was waiting, and Delph decided not to. There's Walker, and now Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne, the only outfield player to start every Premier League match for Manchester City. And a bit of urgency needed there by Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, it was good sweeping, wasn't it? He was alert to that, looking to come out. Nothing in his mind but to just become the sweeper and clear that ball. But Spurs will be pleased with the way they've started. They're winning the ball in the middle third, and that's very difficult to do that against City. In that midfield area, they've won many a ball. They've just got to maybe create a little bit more in the last third, but it's early doors still. If they can keep doing that, they're well in this game.
Spurs have won their last 3 matches after slipping a bit in October and November, and they've been pretty dominant during that sequence as well. Mauricio Pochettino's first game as a manager was for Espanyol against Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. His first win as a manager was against Guardiola in the same team, and his first win in England with Southampton was against Manchester City, and he's been really relaxed and positive in the build-up this week to this one. Gundogan looking to lay it off there towards Aguero. He's got a fantastic record against Tottenham. If he gets one here at the Etihad today, they'll be making 100 goals in a Manchester City shirt in this stadium. There's Ilkay Gundogan, and now Leroy Sané. The two Germans combining. Now Delph. Gundogan gets it back from Fernandinho. Fabian Delph, and now Leroy Sané looking to take on Trippier, and he's got the speed, and he squares it in towards Aguero. Really important defending in there by Vertonghen for Tottenham. First bit of explosiveness there as an attacking side from Manchester City. And Tottenham then give it away back to Kevin De Bruyne. Here's Walker, and now Sterling. Foot in there from Danny Rose, and then a foul on his England teammate Raheem Sterling.
Well, his eyes will light up with Leroy Sané. He skipped past Trippier really, really easily, didn't he? This is a simple enough foul here. Danny Rose on Sterling. But he waltzed past them. In the end, it was really good defending. As you said, goalkeeper and Vertonghen were going to block it.
The perfect position, this, isn't it? For De Bruyne to put that ball in there, round about the penalty spot, in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Perfect there.
One or two Manchester City players there just hanging back a bit, looking to time their runs. Aguero in there sniffing. It's in towards Aguero. who got a little bit too much contact on the Kevin De Bruyne free kick.
Just a little bit too low for him, wasn't he, when he headed the ball? He was really stooping. He was just slightly offside.
I'm a bit worried. Harry Winks there gets caught. He's got to stay. If he's that first man, he's got to stay goal side. Just got caught there with Aguero getting goal side of him.
So Heung-min Son, although Gundogan was in there, a different type of player to David Silva. The one thing that he wants is an extended run in the side, free from injury, the German international. They'll really miss David Silva today, though, won't they? Manchester City, 4 goals in his last 3 matches. Been in such scintillating form this season for them. Here's Dele Alli. Danny Rose has got forward down the Tottenham left. And towards Harry Kane. You can see all of the scores from this afternoon in the Premier League crawling through the bottom of the screen. What a big win that might turn out to be for Huddersfield Town. 4-1 winners at Watford. Here's Leroy Sané. Looks like he's got a taste for it, doesn't he, the young German? Aguero's pulled out into a wide position. There's only Sterling in the box at the moment. Here's Fernandinho, and now Sterling. Aguero's now made his way into that danger area. And Vertonghen with a block. Gundogan picks up the pieces. Sterling looking to move away from Winks, and Dembele back there with a cool head.
Couldn't have been a bobble, surely. On these pitches.
Let's have a look.
Just popped up there, wasn't it? It was a little bit of a pop up there, but not one of his best.
There's Kevin De Bruyne. Dele Alli was in there for Tottenham with the challenge. Dembele can bring it forward. Here's Christian Eriksen. He's got Son and Kane up there with him. Here is Heung-min Son. Eriksen. On by Harry Kane. Might not really have got the shout there from Trippier, who made a really good run behind him from right back.
Yeah, you could see that nice arc of the cross, wasn't it? And Trippier, as you said, whether Harry Kane heard him shout, he could have left it.
What's interesting, that attack there, and it's the first team I've seen do it against City. Pochettino's prepared to leave Son and Kane up, and it's given him a slight problem. When you do win the ball, look now, if you can just see it, you can't see it actually, we can see it, it's out of screen, they're leaving Son and Kane up. Nobody does that ever against City.
You can see them both there, Glenn, can't you? Almost as an out-and-out front two.
So that means
City have got the ball.
It means when you do win the ball, and Spurs have won the ball actually in this early part of the game, they've won it enough in midfield. You've got 2 to break with. You haven't got that one player up there.
Tottenham getting back through Dyer. No foul there on Gundogan. Eriksen looking to get Son on his way, and the offside flag up against the Tottenham man.
There's another example there. You could split that back 3, you know. Otamendi, Walker's not going then. He's got 2. When the ball's on the other side, Walker's having to stay a little bit. So it's forcing them to change their game attack.
This run that Manchester City are on, 15 successive wins, is an all-time record over the 129 years of the Football League. It shows the kind of rarefied air they're in at the moment, and here they come down the left-hand side with Sané. Eriksen's tucked back in. Gundogan had made the run, and Eric Dyer with the clearance, and it's going to spin out of play for a corner here to Tottenham. It's the best start to a top-flight season that any team have made. It's actually broken the record set by the Tottenham double winners in the 60-61 season. Otamendi's gone forward from centre-back. He's been a real goal threat, and so has Gundogan when he's in the team. And he's in to replace David Silva, and he fires Manchester City ahead inside 15 minutes. Manchester City 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Yeah, loads and loads of amused faces in the Tottenham defensive area. Everybody's looking. As one of the smallest people on the field just stooped and smashed one in with his head. Ilkay Gundogan, what a lovely header from him. Just creeps in. Free as a bird, thank you very, very much. You had him. Just walks in on his own.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But what a great header, and fair play to him. He's the one who gambled.
He's actually tucked it away where it's a difficult one to get. Look, Pepe talks about them not scoring that many goals from corners, but wow, it's the difference in this game. But how can you let a player just drift in unmarked? Even if you've designated somebody before the game on the board or whatever, you've got to have an experienced player saying, hey, pick him up, he looks dangerous.
Yeah, he's a centre midfielder. People are expecting him in and around the penalty area, aren't they?
Fernandinho's now nicked it off Christian Eriksen. It's Gundogan's first goal of the season, had 9 months out last season. I watched him here give an instrumental performance against Barcelona in the group stage of the Champions League, and sure, Pep Guardiola said to him, look, David Silva can't play today, no pressure, he's probably been the best player at the club for the past month and a half, and he's gone out into the team, Steve, and he's got Manchester City off.
He's a lovely player, Fletcher, I think everybody knows that. He's just had terrible luck with injuries, but whenever he's played, he's always done himself justice. And he certainly has. He's certainly got this game going, hasn't he, with that goal.
It's a test of the Tottenham character as well now, Glenn. Test of the Tottenham bravery too. The fact they were prepared to leave 2 up, but the way they've conceded that goal will be so disappointing for Mauricio Pochettino that simple organisation cost them.
Well, I think in free play they'll be delighted. I think Pochettino will be delighted with the way they've played. It's just the last third they've got to create a little bit more, but to go down from a set play is disappointing.
There's Harry Kane. The crowd were shouting for a handball. City have got it back. Delph can flick it to Gundogan. So much confidence in this City team to play out from those kinds of situations. I suppose it helps you when you've got a goalkeeper who, to all intents and purposes, sees himself as an outfield player.
Yeah, but you still have to be confident on the ball. You still have to turn out. You still have to be able to pick your next pass. And whoever's come in, whatever substitutes happens or whatever change they've made in whatever game, it's Mangala today, he just turns out and passes forwards as well. So everybody's brimming with confidence.
You only need one, link in the chain that's not going to do it, and the chain will break.
Will break, yeah.
But at the moment, they've got that confidence. But that is a difference. That's a major difference. That keeper now, wow, he picks out passes. He don't just keep the ball, he picks the one that hurts you.
I'll tell you who's really impressed me as well. Otamendi's really impressed me. As a defender, he's improved. I know Frank and Rio was saying Pep's improved individual players, but Otamendi passing forward now, he pings balls through the lines of midfield and forwards. He starts the attack off a lot of the time.
Ball back there from Jan Vertonghen just forced the pulse of Hugo Lloris to raise a little bit. Talking about Otamendi, he's played all but one of the Premier League matches. He's the highest scoring central defender in the Premier League so far, and he's had to just keep it together back there with John Stones out injured. He's another one of the players enjoying a fine personal season for Manchester City.
Well, he took a bit of criticism last year over certain games, and rightly so, but this year he deserves everything.
Kane looking to lay it on. Otamendi was there to clear it away. Spurs did come back here last season, came back from 2-0 down to get a draw, but this is the kind of team at the moment in the Premier League that you don't want to give that scent of blood in their nostrils. There's Leroy Sané. Sterling applying the pressure on Jan Vertonghen. Danny Rose has done well to wriggle out of there. He's going to get the free kick. No advantage for Harry Winks.
You can see that intent from Tottenham. They're not changing. Even though they've gone 1-0 down, they're really brave at playing out from the back there. And Vertonghen was put under immense pressure, kept his head. They're just going to keep playing. And I would think Pochettino's thinking, we're still in this game, boys. If they don't concede another one, they're looking as if they're going to play their way through this.
See what Edison's got up his sleeve this time. There's Eriksen. The ball stayed in. Trippier sent it in early towards Dele Alli.
He made a nice run, Dele Alli, as well there. Got across Kyle Walker. Just overhit the cross. Kieran Trippier back in the
the Tottenham team today. Serge Aurier played in midweek, he's dropped back down to the bench. Dele Alli hasn't scored since he got the 2 against Real Madrid in the Champions League match. He'd love to get one here in Manchester today. Here's Leroy Sané defending for Trippier to do. Eriksen there to help him out. Sané's going the long way around again.
Done it again. Every goal on inside and outside onto his left foot. He needs help, Trippier. He shouldn't be allowing him going round there when Eriksen's got back and helped him. He's got 2 against 1. He just has to show one of them into where his teammate is. Can't let him go round the outside.
Yeah, the change of pace is immense, isn't it, from Sané?
Eric Dyer has just pointed that there is Ilkay Gundogan. Harry Winks has decided to pick him up this time. A lesson learned by Tottenham. Harry Kane's defensive header. Here's Sterling. Leroy Sané is onside. Otamendi and Mangala have stayed in the Tottenham penalty area.
Just a double-hander there, that looked like.
It was a push, we saw it, the officials didn't. Craig Pawson might have done with that smirk on his face.
Just 2 arms in the back, wasn't it? Just there.
It's the referee's assistant
he has
down
to be
on this
careful.
side.
He has to be careful, doesn't he? 2 hands.
Let's bring in Graham Poll. Graham, is that a penalty?
Yes, it is, and it's the same referee, of course, who gave the penalty for Everton against Liverpool last weekend for a very similar offence.
Thank you, Graham. Of course, it was Dejan Lovren on Dominic Calvert-Lewin last weekend. Craig Pawson deciding not to give this one.
The fact that Mangala headed the ball ends up flicking it on as well.
But there's no danger. It's just a ball on the edge of the penalty area. It's a ridiculous decision from Rose to have a chance.
There's Eric Dyer, who was the England captain in the recent games against Brazil and Germany. Harry Kane's offside.
A nice line, isn't it, by Manchester City. Otamendi's taken full control, he's the back man.
It's a good victory for David Moyes and West Ham at the Bet365 Stadium against Stoke City. Stoke dropping towards the relegation zone, West Ham moving in the other direction.
Took a bit of a risk there, Dembele. It was a foul, but there was 4 City players just converting on him, and it was a very dangerous place to try and play there. That's what Spurs have got to do, decide when to play, when to take that risk, and when not to. They were a bit fortunate there.
There's Eriksen. Dele Alli. Winks has made a good run, and Son's made a run as well. So has Rose.
Oh,
it's a poor cross by Rose. Son had a look initially at Winks and then a further look at Danny Rose, and neither of them able to bring him into play.
It was nice, wasn't it? Winks could have played Son in, he could have played eventually Danny Rose. Look at Harry Kane at the far post. It was just an awful cross.
That's where he was trying to pick out Harry Kane, I think, wasn't he? He just got it all wrong.
Plenty so far today for Jake and the guys to talk about. Premier League tonight, 8 o'clock, 1 HD and 4K UHD. And here's Sergio Aguero running through for Manchester City. Saved by Lloris. And then Raheem Sterling on the follow-up. Off target. Well, 2 players there who, with the kind of form they've been in this season, you would have backed to score.
Yeah, and it was a great move. It actually started from the goalkeeper yet again, pinging a 50-yard ball out to Leroy Sané on the edge of the box. No challenge from them, and then Aguero smashes it, and then Sterling just falling back, unfortunately, on his left peg.
It's already Raheem Sterling's best goal-scoring season for Manchester City. We've not even reached Christmas, and bearing in mind he's had double figures in both seasons so far since arriving here from Liverpool. And Tottenham have got to tighten up a bit, Glenn, haven't they, in those kinds of situations?
It's a great example of what Mac is saying. It came from the goal kick, so it's very difficult, whoever you are, today it's Tottenham, to press City all the time is very hard.
Real pressure on Hugo Lloris, supplied by Aguero.
just think they've been a little bit sloppy at times, Tottenham. You can't allow the goalkeeper to hit a 50-yard ball just as a simple pass.
It's not been a good ground for him, this one. It's his 5th Premier League match here, and he's conceded 14 goals. He let 6 in here in 2013, Hugo Lloris, and it's the kind of day, Glenn, where he can't just concentrate on saving shots. He's got to use his feet an awful lot as well.
Yeah, he certainly has. You know, City will press you as well, and Spurs are prepared to play balls back to him.
There's Kevin De Bruyne on that left foot. Deflection helped him. Helped Lloris in the end. Just starting to find the loose balls, aren't they, in and around the Tottenham final third, which will be a real worry here for Pochettino.
They're making chances quite easily, Manchester City.
This team at the moment, 25 games unbeaten in the Premier League, which is a Premier League record. It's not his longest unbeaten run, or winning run, should I say, as a manager. He won 19 on the trot during his time at Bayern Munich, but everything he's done here this season has been so impressive. Clear evidence that he learned from 1 or 2 mistakes he might have made in his first season in the Premier League. Spurs are going to get the free kick here for the foul on Dele Alli.
Yeah, there wasn't much in it, was there? Dele, see, he's miscontrolled it. You can see the foul. He's given the foul because of the high feet. The ball was up there, wasn't it?
He's trying to change the play as well. Rose was on in oceans of space, and I think it just popped up a little bit high on there.
Well, that's a high line, Glenn, that isn't it? It is. Defensively, that.
They're almost in line with a free kick here, Steve.
It looks like someone from deep. I mean, it's almost, is it 10 yards, isn't it? The same as the Aguero, is it, in front of the ball? But if you can make a run from deep, you're in.
Clipped in by Eriksen, and the answer is they couldn't.
No one went.
Here's De Bruyne.
Oh, love that.
Easily moved away from Eriksen.
Just stood on it and slides it forwards.
Look at the space out wide for Leroy Sané. It's gone instead for Aguero. Now Sané. Gundogan. City looking to open up Tottenham again. Gundogan went to bend it. Lloris was down, and then the parried save evaded the onrushing Manchester City players. Testing times now for Tottenham Hotspur. Here's Aguero. Trippier gets a foot in, but City keep the one. They should have kept the possession. Delph left it to Aguero, and Aguero left it to Delph. And they've got it back eventually, though. Here is Fabian Delph. This is the situation, Glenn, where most times you think, well, that's the attack over, we can regroup again, and then you think, blimey, Ederson's got that 60-yarder in his pocket.
Yeah, and they know that as well. They're all making movement off the ball, so you can't close everyone down. When the goalkeeper has it, that's the problem. And at the moment, City are getting through Tottenham's press now, and they're just starting to dictate the game.
There's that little bit of skill. Stand on it here. Whoops. Roll. And there's the save. I don't know whether something was in his eye, because he parried it right out. Just evaded Sterling. I don't know why he never parried it to far left. But it's ominous the way City are playing.
There's a nutmeg by De Bruyne on Winks. Trippier can pick it up though for Tottenham, but they're giving it away. They can't keep possession at the moment. Look at that for a ball by De Bruyne. Leroy Sané, it's behind Sterling. Aguero was onto it, and Danny Rose made the block. The initial vision by Kevin De Bruyne was fantastic for Manchester City.
What a ball that was, wasn't it? First time, saw the picture, saw where Spurs were out of position, bang, it was in behind them before they knew it.
Danny Rose has stayed down after making that block, so Craig Pawson's going to stop the game here.
It's probably a good thing for Pochettino, because his team should be having a talk between themselves. Here's the pass from De Bruyne. Trippier again following Fabian Delph. Great block by Danny Rose in the end off Aguero.
It's a good tackle, actually.
And you see Dembele's coming over, but they should be coming over and having a chat, because they're all over the place at the minute, Tottenham.
This is the kind of situation, Macca, if we were in America, they'd be calling time-out Tottenham at the moment, wouldn't they? Just to take a breath and
well, I was going to say, it wasn't a bad little foul by Danny Rose to stay down, as long as they can get together and talk about it, because they're all over the place. It's admirable that they want to press and go forward, but you have to defend as well.
And also, when they are out of position, that they've got players on the City side that would just pick you off. You can get away with it against some teams, but not this team.
It just shows as well, Glenn, how they share the goals around in this Manchester City team. İlkay Gundogan is the 12th different City player to score in the various competitions already. When you think they've played 25 games so far, they've got goals right the way through. They've won 5 of the last 7 meetings here against Tottenham. And the sole win for Spurs was 2 years ago in Manuel Pellegrini's final season here as the City manager. Here come Manchester City with Leroy Sané, who's an ominous presence out there on the left. That's better from Trippier. Here's Heung-min Son on the run, who can test himself against Mangala. Kane in the middle, Dele Alli's in there, and Harry Winks has got forward as well. That's Sané, though, tracked back and won it for City. Kane then with a challenge on Otamendi. And a free kick given by Craig Pawson to Manchester City.
Yeah, Leroy Sané does really well, because we've seen him lose the ball to Trippier. There's the foul. Looks as if he's struggling, doesn't he, Trippier?
Serge Aurier is among the Tottenham subs. He played at right back for Spurs in midweek.
Yeah, you see here's the goal now, and you see Gundogan on the edge of the box, just trotting in glorious isolation. Oh, there you go. Better stick that in the back of the net. Stooping down as well.
At this level, that is just atrocious defending. Someone's got to take responsibility. Even if he wasn't designated that he was going to go into the penalty area, things happen like that. And Pochettino must be so frustrating.
İlkay Gundogan, the Manchester City goal scorer. He's a really good player, isn't he, Gundogan, when he's fit and available. He's missed 2 major tournaments with injuries. Missed the World Cup in 2014 with a back problem, the World Cup, the Euros 2 years later with a dislocated knee. He's had injury problems here at Manchester City. Good to see Trippier back up on his feet. Don't forget, next Saturday, 5 o'clock, you'll see Tottenham again. They're at Burnley, one of the feel-good stories of the league season so far. 1HD, 4K UHD, and then approaching the new year, back-to-back Premier League matches. Manchester United, Southampton on Saturday, the 30th of December. And the following day, we have Crystal Palace against Manchester City. That's a 11:30 start on New Year's Eve. Here's Kevin De Bruyne, moving forward ominously. Leroy Sané's in, it was a heavy touch. The only thing that probably denied Manchester City a second goal. Here's Walker, on by Sterling to Sergio Aguero. Aguero shot, drags it wide. They're a little bit open now at the back, aren't they, Tottenham?
A little bit open, a lot open. It's just chance after chance. If, as you said, if Leroy Sané has a better touch, that's in the back of the net. But Vertonghen and Danny Rose came over and had a meeting on the side here with Pochettino. There's that big touch there, which you can see keepers out, but they come over to try and get themselves into some sort of shape. And in the space of a minute, they've made 2 chances.
Also, that first chance from Sané has come from a Vertonghen header where really put your head through it, put it into the opponent's half, and up you come. He's tried a delicate little header down into midfield, lost it, and bang, they're in behind.
It was nicely done by Harry Kane, although Tottenham made heavy weather of actually getting onto the pass. It was Trippier who did it. I think at the moment Tottenham are just happy to have a hold of the ball for a period of time. 11 minutes to go before half-time. City with a 1-0 lead, but had they had a bit more luck and been a bit more ruthless, they might well have been out of sight by now. Here's Dele Alli. And Now Eriksson. Ali finds a pocket of space. They work it back now to Christian Eriksen. Now Harry Kane. Kane's going to hit one! Well, it was bending and didn't quite bend enough. It's the first sight of goal that Harry Kane's had.
I mean, we could see that it was just always just staying wide, wasn't it? And right behind that, you can see the arc of it was just staying away from Ederson. But that's the great thing about Tottenham in this first half. They're only 1-0 down. They're a shot and a goal away from getting right back into it. And with the talent they've got up front, they can easily get back into this game.
It's a poor ball by Otamendi. A better piece of control by Eriksson might well have had Tottenham moving forward. Raheem Sterling. Sane stood out there in acres of space again on the City left. Trippier's on his way out there to close it down a little bit. Tottenham throw-in. Take it quickly here to Harry Kane. Fernandinho's tackle, handball against Moussa Dembele.
Yeah, again, just a bit slow, Tottenham. Does it his arm, doesn't it? Chest and an arm, is it? There you go, yeah. Forearm.
He's the manager with the problem, isn't he, Mauricio Pochettino? Only Manchester City and Chelsea have won more away matches than Tottenham. Their last away defeat was in Manchester across the city at Old Trafford, but they've only managed 1 point from the last 12 available away. And they're going to have to dig deep here at the Etihad against Manchester City. Tottenham finding the same problems that so many teams have found this season, actually getting away from the Manchester City press. At the moment, Spurs simply can't get out.
Yeah, they've got to make more movement off the ball. It's the only way you can do it. If you're prepared to play from the back and play your way out, you've got to have movement off the ball.
It's a high foot by Otamendi on Kane.
He's booking him as well.
Yeah.
Well, he was going to. His hand went in his pocket. Just a big touch by Harry Kane, as you see. Pops right up in the air. But he's high, isn't he, Otamendi? Catches him right in the face.
There were words exchanged as well there between the two Argentinians, Nicolas Otamendi and the Tottenham manager, Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino, a centre-back by trade when he was a player. You can see quite clearly there why Kane felt the full force of that. And there's the yellow card. Fantastic season, hasn't he, for club and country, Harry Kane. 50 goals so far in all, including the international matches as well. 33 for Tottenham in 2017. Alan Shearer's record is 36. That was set 22 years ago, so he's got a couple of games after this one to set a new mark, and doesn't seem to be any lasting sign of damage for Harry Kane. Scored his first Tottenham goal 6 years ago yesterday in a Europa League match against Shamrock Rovers. Tottenham totally waste the free kick.
It's all too slow though, that at the back, isn't it? The pass from Vertonghen to the goalkeeper, then the goalkeeper passed it behind Dyer. And it just set the tone of coming back across, allowing Manchester City to get involved.
And if you're going to pass that out there from the back, Steve, you've got to have 3 or 4 options.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Spurs players off the ball, and they're not making any movement. I think it was only Eriksson that tried to make a bit of movement.
Gundogan to Sane, gets through Trippier. Gundogan then caught by Dele Alli, free kick to Manchester City.
Stood on his instep.
Two centre-backs of Manchester City have gone forward here. It's a high line for Tottenham as well.
It is.
Again, it's enticing Kevin De Bruyne to put the ball in behind them and see if someone can time the run. Harry Kane's header. Here's Walker. I think from Mauricio Pochettino's standpoint here, Glenn, if they can get through to half-time at 1-0 down, he'll class that as a bit of a moral victory.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely, because there could be 3 down easily. But you know, they keep playing. They want to play. They're brave in what they're doing. They're brave. They're keeping the 2 up at times when City attack him, and they'll feel if they can get Harry Kane another couple of little chances, half chances, they're still in this game.
There's Fabian Delph, pressurised by Heung-min Son. Launched into the air by Aguero. Leeds can't keep a hold of that one. Here's Fernandinho. He's got a really underrated job to play in this Manchester City team, hasn't he, Fernandinho? Just to sit there and let the rest of them do their thing. Here's De Bruyne, and now Sterling. Speeding forward is Walker. Sterling's going to keep it. Here's Fernandinho lifted in towards Aguero, and the flag's up. Tried his best to time that run, couldn't quite do it.
And it was Aguero, and it could have been Sane at the far post here. Glorious at isolation yet again. Just waiting. Yeah, he's just, maybe his left shoulder was just off.
It's Otamendi and now De Bruyne. Gundogan has hardly put a foot wrong in midfield so far, Gundogan. Dyer there ahead of Aguero. Son is fouled by Delph. The England left back frustrated.
Yeah, you just see Son hanging out there on that right-hand side. Even though the ball that City were attacking down the right, and they're being brave in what they're doing with Son. Sometimes he's left up with Kane, then he goes out on the outside of Delph. I think they've got to feed him the ball when he gets there, though.
By Otamendi. Walker then in there on Dembele. Free kick goes City's way again.
And it was a foul. Why is he grabbing him round the neck when he's facing the opposite way on the pitch? Just keep him going that way.
Yeah, Walker had the problem, didn't he? Going towards his own corner flag, and he does that a lot, Dembele. You've seen him do that a lot. He grabs, and a lot of times now he's got to watch himself, because he's could have been sort of, what's that, 4th, 5th foul he's given away. The referee's going to book him soon.
Here's Harry Winks. It's been tough for him in the centre of midfield alongside Dembele.
So we've just gone backwards though, backwards and backwards.
They can't go any further back.
No. Every pass they try to do to one of the teammates, it's gone behind them. It sets the tempo a lot of the time.
There's a forward ball to Dele Alli.
Good.
It's a decent one as well.
Yeah.
And now Son. Eriksen's up there to support Harry Kane. Here is Harry Kane. Danny Rose is with him too. Spurs have got players forward here. City quickly have got back. And then Dele Alli was coming in and Ederson was down quickly. The flag was up anyway. And now here are Manchester City transitioning from defence to attack through Kevin De Bruyne. Now Sergio Aguero. Sane's up there. Sterling's arrived now as well. It's still Aguero and Danny Rose with the block. Kevin De Bruyne felt he might have used an arm there, but the officials are interested. Here's Gundogan and now Delph. Delph, who's been such a bonus to Manchester City. Benjamin Mendy out for the season. Danilo's not really made plays his own. In actual fact, the left back the City have been relying on now is someone who was here all along. And there's a frustrated foul by Dele Alli on Fernandinho. This is the penalty shout.
Oh, good hit. But it does strike his arm.
Graham, have a look at that one for us. Graham Pollard's with us. Graham, it does strike the arm, but what about it?
Yeah, Darren, it definitely strikes his arm, but his arm's in front of his body in a relatively natural position. I think if his arm's raised high, it would be a penalty, but for me, not a penalty.
Thank you, Graham. So two penalty decisions in the first half for Craig Pawson. One that Graham thinks he got right, and one earlier on that he thinks he got wrong. There's 2 additional minutes at the end of this first half. The first half has been dominated by Manchester City.
A minimum of 2 minutes.
There's Walker. Fernandinho had just stepped in front of Dele Alli. Now Sterling. Sané's on the run down the left. It's an important challenge by Vertonghen. Now Gundogan. Now went for goal himself. Aguero was pointing. And any one of them looked to the left. Leroy Sané was completely in the clear.
It's a poor decision in the end. I think he's got to play there. He's got people coming to his left, then his right. He's had a glance, but he's gone glance right as well. He knew they were there, but he thought, no, I'm getting me second.
Mendy back to Ederson, who hasn't had a save to make in the match so far. Just that one slight moment of panic with the curling Harry Kane shot that was wide.
The old fog's coming in over there, isn't it?
It is. It's sweeping across the stadium.
See it on the screen.
It may well be a pea super by midway through the second half.
Could easily be.
One or two of those Tottenham defenders have been a bit foggy in the first half as well, haven't they? Trying to reorganise on the fly with Manchester City rampaging forward. There's Dele Alli. Certainly are players in this Tottenham starting 11 that can change the match. Dele Alli being one of them. Here's Harry Winks. And now Kieran Trippier. Well, there's the half-time whistle, and we've seen some excellent football again from the Premier League leaders, Manchester City. And Leroy Sané had a lot of freedom down the left-hand side, but the man who's got the all-important goal today was Ilkay Gundogan, stooping to head his first goal of the season direct from a corner when left totally unmarked by the Tottenham Hotspur players. Manchester City in the lead at half-time. It's Manchester City 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Alphabetically on a BT bonanza, Curry on a charge, deadly like De Bruyne. Equally heading, Frampton fighting, Griffiths golden, Houghton hoping. Incredible like Itoje, Jackson jumping in his jersey. Contact kicking like Lewandowski. Move mega like McGregor, Neymar by nature. Oversteering, Ogier pause. Quick like Ronaldo, Super 6 Sanchez. Take ups, touchdown, trophies, tries. You go to Valentino, Woofy, X Games, Yankees. So in, I don't give a damn.
We can cross continents and time zones at the mere touch of a button. The moment the game changes is the moment we see it. I miss nothing. We are members of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and we gamble responsibly at Bet365.
Technology is worthless if it doesn't give you an edge. The new Nissan Qashqai. Expect more. New intelligent technologies, new design. For the players.
Wouldn't it be great to have your own little helper this time of year?
Me?
Not you.
No.
Google Home Mini. OK, Google, tell me about my day.
Sure, it's Christmas Day, your cooking family lunch.
OK, Google, what temperature do you cook a turkey at?
The perfect temperature is 175 degrees.
OK, Google, play my washing up playlist. Google Home Mini. Your own little helper this Christmas, the Google way.
Alan can't contain his excitement, and neither will you! Now there's a free prize with every purchase at the Carphone Warehouse £10 million giveaway. £100,000 cash, Mini Coopers, and loads of other prizes. So, buy yourself one of the latest Nokia Android range on pay-as-you-go. Like the Nokia 3 handset from just $79.99. At Carphone Warehouse, we compare, you save.
If you want to be a world traveller, start by... Whoa, is that a Galaxy S8 with Bixby? Handsome screen. Anyway, you want to pack that and... Whoa, okay, we're on the move. You'll need a tour guide. Apparently not. Don't forget your big camera, or that phone will do a cracker job. Travelling by yourself can be lame. And look at you, you've got a ton of new friends. Ooh, llamas. You've got to love a llama. I guess you've got this world traveller thing covered. And I reckon you got Crimbo covered too. Nice one.
Offers cutbacks, I'm afraid. We've rented out the office toilets to an internet startup, so we're going to have to build our own on the main floor space. Some of you may contract a fatal disease due to bad sanitation, but we're having cutbacks anyway, so it'll be like killing two birds with one stone. When is Sharon coming back? Is cholera like a 48-hour thing, or is it going to be longer?
Text toilet to 70060 to give water aid £3 now.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome back. Nice to have you with us this evening. The leaders are on course to extend their own record to 17 Premier League victories in succession. Regarding the cricket, I'm afraid to say that England are on the brink in the Ashes. If you want to see all the action from day 4 of the third test, if you can bear to stay up for it, 2 o'clock in the morning here on BT Sport. And if you'd rather watch the highlights tomorrow from 11:30 in the morning, you can see it all then. Look, 16 straight Premier League wins then for Manchester City if they manage to do it today. And you can see, can't you, why no one has managed to come here in over a year and win in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, Manchester City normally have 70-odd% possession. Here today they've had 53%. Tottenham have had the ball.
Yeah.
But they've had it down here underneath us here. In and around their own penalty area. Lloris has probably touched it as much as the centre-halves. And they can't get out. There's no good ball going in through the midfield, through the lines, into Harry Kane. He's had no great ball to work from. And that's why they don't let you have the ball. And when you do get the ball, it's rush, head down, because people are pressing and pressing and pressing.
OK, let's take a look at the goal then. There'll be real frustration, won't there, for Maurizio Pochettino?
Yeah, there will, because he's strolled in and made it so easy for him. I mean, it's good quality in from Sane. I like the ball's pace and whip on it, but Gundogan does well here because he feigns that he's not interested. He's saying there he's playing for his sock. I'm not too bothered. I'll probably sit out on the edge. It makes nobody actually pick him up himself. Where Tottenham foul here, they've got two people in the zone. Harry Winks is in the zone centrally, but when a ball comes into your zone, you have to attack it. You know, it's a mess from Tottenham's point of view. Nobody's marking him man-to-man. The zone boys don't attack in the zone. Gundogan strolls in, gets one of the easiest headers he's going to get. OK, let's go to Graham Poll, because Graham, there was an incident in that first half with Danny Rose with what looked like a push on Mangala. You said at the time during the game that you believed it should have been a penalty. We're not really debating that. What we are asking is, how can a referee give a penalty like that in the Merseyside derby and then choose not to give one a few days later here? It's that inconsistency again, isn't it?
It can be seen as inconsistency, but we've had a good look at this, and there are two reasons why Craig Pawson hasn't given this as a penalty kick. We agree it's a penalty. You can see here the ball comes in and there is a push. Here's Craig Pawson's view. He can't see Rose's hands in the back, so he hasn't got a clear view of it. We can see there it's definitely a push and therefore a penalty. And you say, well, hang on, it's the same referee as last weekend, so why not? And the reason is the reaction. If you look here, this is the one last weekend. Look at Calvert-Lewin. As soon as he feels the contact, he's going over. Craig Pawson can see the contact and also can see Calvert-Lewin going over. And the difference today is the player hasn't gone to ground, and also he hasn't got a great view and angle. That's why he's not given it. It's wrong, but you can see why.
So even as a former ref, you're saying Mangala should have made more of it?
It's a hard one for players. If you don't go down, you're struggling to get it. So I think if he'd have gone to ground, I think he'd have got the penalty kick, yes.
All right, thanks very much, Graham. Look, you said beforehand it's like being in prison playing Manchester City, and that's exactly how it's been for Tottenham. What on earth do they do in the second half?
Well, they're on lockdown at the moment because they can't get out.
Long sentence.
so sometimes you've got to go long. You've got to just, the press is coming, you know that they're going to be on the front foot. The attacking players are defending from the front. Sometimes you've got to go beyond that. Go straight into Harry Kane sometimes, and then get your play off that. Your Eriksen's, your Dele Alli's on the ball. Get them on the ball, but you can't continually play from the back and risk like they have, and they've caused their own problems a lot of the time.
It must feel like a prison sentence playing Man City at the moment, mustn't it? Very tough indeed. OK, what can Tottenham do in the second half is the question. They're a goal down. Their last 3 Premier League goals actually conceded by Spurs have all been headers from corners. They've got to change things in the second half. We'll see what happens next.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Your odds from William Hill lets you create and bet on your own markets. Tweet us direct from the William Hill app or from Twitter, and we'll reply with the odds. Join over 300,000 Your Odds customers and view their markets. Spot something you like? One click, it's in your bet slip and you're on. More markets, more choice, and now available on Google Play. William Hill. This is more.
Technology is worthless if it doesn't give you an edge. The new Nissan Qashqai. Expect more. New intelligent technologies, new design.
And up next, the young man whose FIFA 18 move sent the world into a spin.
Play it on Xbox One.
Gotta get up.
If you want to be a world traveller, start by... Whoa, is that a Galaxy S8 with Bigsby? Handsome screen. Anyway, you want to pack that and... Whoa, okay, we're on the move. You'll need a tour guide. Apparently not. Don't forget your big camera, or that phone will do a cracker job. Travelling by yourself can be lame. And look at you, you've got a ton of new friends. Ooh, llamas. You've got to love a llama. I guess you've got this world traveller thing covered. And I reckon you got Crimbo covered too. Nice one.
Wouldn't it be great to have your own little helper this time of year?
Me?
Not you. Google Home Mini. OK, Google, tell me about my day.
Sure, it's Christmas Day, your cooking family lunch.
OK, Google, what temperature do you cook a turkey at?
The perfect temperature is 175 degrees.
OK, Google, play my washing up playlist. Google Home Mini, your own little helper this Christmas, the Google way.
Alan can't contain his excitement, and neither will you! Now there's a free prize with every purchase at the Carphone Warehouse £10 million giveaway. £100,000 cash, Mini Coopers, and loads of other prizes. So, buy yourself one of the latest Nokia Android range on pay-as-you-go. Like the Nokia 3 handset from just $79.99. At Carphone Warehouse, we compare, you save.
Office cutbacks, I'm afraid. We've rented out the office toilets to an internet startup, so we're going to have to build our own on the main floor space. Some of you may contract a fatal disease due to bad sanitation, but we're having cutbacks anyway, so it'll be like killing two birds with one stone. When is Sharon coming back? Is cholera like a 48-hour thing, or is it going to be longer?
Text toilet to 70060 to give...
Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen.
Drink that shot.
To go into commentary? The worst piece of advice I've ever been given was how to tackle Jonah Lomu.
Try and control the ball and pass it to a teammate.
From Craig Doyle, don't do Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones base? What the hell? That's not going to take off. It's the worst advice I've ever given someone.
Doyle, you are an idiot. Don't do Game of Thrones.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome back to misty Manchester, where Gundogan's goal separates the sides here. Just a reminder for you Tottenham fans, we've got an amazing documentary this evening. It's called The Lane. It's at 9 o'clock, straight after Premier League tonight. We'll look at the 118-year history of Tottenham's home. And a reminder that BT Sport has got instant replays available in 360 today on the BT Sport app. Look, Frank, City have conceded in 4 of their last 5 Premier League games here. That must give Spurs some hope.
Yeah, it does, but they've got to get out their half more. If you don't get up the other end of the pitch enough, you're going to struggle to score. Spurs have to be quicker with the ball, move it quicker across the back, get it into the midfield and try and maybe, go over the midfielder. Man City, they're trying to play through it, they can't, they're too slow, slightly more direct. Try and join that. It's the basic facts that they have to do now.
Yep, they've got to go for it. I think Spurs need to get something out of this game on the front foot.
OK, here we go then. Let me hand you back to Glenn, Steve and Darren. All yours, gents.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, boys. Manchester City 45 minutes away from the 16th successive Premier League win to extend their all-time record. But you think, Glenn, that Tottenham might actually be coming out for this second half more positive than maybe we think, bearing in mind they're only 1 down?
Well, very much so. They should be 3 down, and they're saying that, look, we're only 1 goal away from getting right back in this game, and Harry Kane hasn't had enough service yet. Get a few chances to Kane. Who knows what's going to happen?
Challenging Fernandinho is Nicolas Otamendi. It's interesting what Rio said at half-time, Steve, about how you can possibly get out from the back if you're Tottenham, to be a bit more direct and play up to Harry Kane. There's nothing wrong with that if it helps you get back into the game.
The Manchester City goalkeeper has done it to great effect about 3 or 4 times. Even there, he's tried to hit a 60-yard ball to Leroy Sané again. It's no problem at all when the press happens.
Neither manager's made a change at half-time. It's Harry Kane for Tottenham, who had their 1 chance in the first half, a half chance really that he turned into a decent effort. Oh, Ericsson, there's some space here for Danny Rose, who hasn't really been able to get forward with the ball at all down the Tottenham left. The Spurs have got it with Rose. no foul either. Manchester City have got it with De Bruyne.
No, it wasn't a foul, he just took too long.
That's Raheem Sterling. That's Sergio Aguero. Harry Winks across there for Tottenham. And the Manchester City corner.
And he just stands on the ball there and he just gets caught, doesn't he?
There's the goal scorer Gundogan hovering inside the Tottenham penalty area. Otamendi's gone forward. And Garlas in there as well. De Bruyne with the corner. Garlas header. Here's Fernandinho. He's got Dele Alli. A little bit too strong for him. He's only missed 2 matches so far for Manchester City. Fernandinho. Spurs would love to get Dele Alli on the ball in some advanced positions in the second half. And this man as well, Christian Eriksen. Danny Rose on the overlap. Son's up there with Harry Kane. Here is Son. Schutte has gone on the overlap. Now Dembele. Winks. The danger posed by Rose was spotted by Sterling. Although Tottenham still get the ball out to the England left back. Here's Eriksen. And now Kane. In towards Son. Sane had got back in well.
Oh, he did
Manchester
really well.
City.
Did really well, didn't he, Sane? How many times has he been back in the defensive area? Look, chasing back, he knows where the danger is. Thankfully, there's a lot of air on the Harry Kane cross.
So 2 examples, Glenn, in that move by Tottenham. 2 examples of 2 Manchester City wingers being really alert to spot the danger. Sterling on one side and then Sane on the other.
Yeah, it was needed as well because there was an overload on that back post. When you get that overload, that's when you normally score. But Sane's done it 2 or 3 occasions first half and prepared to do it this half as well. Brilliant defending.
There's Gundogan and now Sane. Gundogan gets it back from his German teammate. Sergio Aguero slips away from Dembele. Here's Kyle Walker. Fizzes that ball in that Lloris felt he got a punch away. Fernandinho nicks it back from Winks, no foul. And now there's the opportunity maybe here for Tottenham to counter through Eriksen. Now Harry Kane. Dele Alli's up with him, so is Heung-min Son. Son was the ball that
smashed it.
Wasn't a good enough quality from Harry Kane.
A lot of ironic boos around, thinking this was a foul on Fernandinho. Comes off Dele Alli, just get there first, little touch. It was a foul, wasn't it?
This is the break, isn't it? So they get the bodies forward, that's the moment they're looking for. Just overcooked from Harry Kane. Son made a really good blind run.
Spurs have come out though on the front foot. They've had the ball inside the Manchester City half and they've managed to find a way into the final third. I suppose the next step along the road is to find the quality when they're around the City penalty area.
It's just picking that quality pass that puts somebody in, isn't it? They're not getting really round the outside. They're not going to really get enough possession to get crosses in from the byline, but it's one of those type of balls that Kane just tried.
Otamendi got his head to the ball there despite being involved in a wrestling match with Harry Kane. It's Trippier and now Son. It's a foul by Delph. A yellow card as well for the Manchester City left back.
Well, that was an easy one for them. Nice 1-2 between Trippier and Son.
Hasn't had a great deal of defending to do tonight so far. Fabian Delph, who's starting his 12th successive match in the league tonight for Manchester City. Well, there is defending for City to do now, though, from this Tottenham free kick.
There's a bit of space on the edge of the penalty area as well. Rose is there all on his own in 20 yards at the moment.
The big men are hanging out towards the back. Harry Kane is over there along with Dyer and Jan Vertonghen. Dele Alli's on the edge of the 6-yard box. It's away by Ederson as far as Danny Rose. Here's Vertonghen. Block made in there by Otamendi. And a foul on Sterling. It was a lunging challenge by Kane. One England player on another.
He didn't see it.
I'm not sure he saw it.
No, he didn't see it.
He didn't see back to play, didn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to get out of the way, but he's booking him anyway.
I think he's going by the reaction of the crowd there. Oh, that's strange.
Yes, he's looking away there.
Oh, he's like a good midfield player, opening his shoulders up, looking over his shoulder.
Whoops. Oh, yeah, he did have a look.
Good play.
Very nice, Craig Pawson.
Well done, ref. He could play in midfield.
Otamendi. Manchester City have found it much easier to deal with the Tottenham press than Spurs have at the other end. Here's Walker, making the kind of runs down the right that the Tottenham supporters and the players here today know all about. Here's De Bruyne. Oh, fizzed that ball across, didn't he, to Leroy Sané.
Yeah, I think when he's in possession, they know they can change the play. It was just fractions, wasn't it, on that one? But that's where he can hit you, on the opposite side of the pitch. Certain players, you know, you make a run, but you know it's not going to come.
Such a terrific all-rounder, isn't he, Kevin De Bruyne? 6 goals this season, 8 assists as well. Premier League tonight, 8 o'clock, 1 HD and 4K UHD. Rio and Frank joined by a freezing cold Steve McManaman, who's on his way to the studio to join Jake and the team for that programme after the commentary. Here's Moussa Dembele. Kieran Trippier. The fact that Tottenham chose to go back there with a couple of passes put pressure back on their captain Hugo Lloris. It's a missed kick by Otamendi and Harry Kane onto it. Mangala coming across to decent effect for Manchester City. Miscommunication then between Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen. Sterling to Aguero. Vertonghen gets a foot in. Tottenham much keener to get close to the Manchester City players since the restart.
And they've stopped City playing a bit, haven't they, which is good.
Here's Dele Alli. Manages to keep it, despite the efforts of Raheem Sterling. No winks. Trippier. Son. Trippier to Dembele. City's turn to be organised. Here's Dele Alli. And Otamendi there to stab it away.
But City are organised, to be honest. It's a better ball.
There's Christian Eriksen looking for the run there with Dele Alli. It was well spotted by Otamendi, but Kane's got it now. Kane shoots, Ederson saves.
Yeah, it's better by Tottenham. Danny Rose made a lovely run earlier on. Eriksen never found him, and this time it falls to Kane, who takes the shot on like a good centre forward and a good goal scorer. A good save by the keeper. It's in a good position, a starting position, sees it all the way, tips it around the post.
Jan Vertonghen up for the corner. Eric Dyer has joined him in the City box. It's away by Otamendi for City. Here's Dembele. Eriksen, Fernandinho's got some work to do. Trippier over there supporting the Dane. It's encouraging though, Glenn, isn't it, from a Tottenham perspective, the way the game is now, 10 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, without a doubt, they've come forward, the midfield are on the ball now, they've got a bit more of a pattern of play, changing from one side to the other. Danny Rose is on with a big change. If they can get somebody on the ball to whip that ball out there, there's a lot of space for him at the moment, but it's improved performance from Spurs second half.
There's Gabriel Jesus, who looks as though he's about to come on for Manchester City. It's an early change here by Guardiola in the second half. And we're hearing it's going to be for Sergio Aguero, so a straight swap like for Manchester City. Aguero, unless he can get one before he goes off, is going to stay on 99 here at the Etihad, Manchester City's all-time leading goal scorer.
I think you can see the fact that Spurs now are in the last third, attacking, taking a few risks. Danny Rose bombing forward. I think he needs a bit of pace to go in behind to turn Tottenham on the counter themselves.
They're making the change now, Steve. Jesus coming on.
Yeah, it's nice and early, isn't it? As you said, it's not like Pep to make a decision not soon into the second half, especially when they're leading. He's thrown his gloves onto the floor, left them on the pitch, Aguero. So he's not happy. Eric Diaz just threw them off for him. So he's not happy at all.
No contact with his manager on the way off. Gabriel Jesus on for Manchester City. The threats one, and it might be an early opportunity for Gabriel Jesus. Well, it was, and had he been a little bit sharper, might well have got himself a goal with his first touch.
I don't know whether Eric Dyer just puts him off. Just puts him off. He's onside.
That's why I think Pep's put him on. He wants to get in behind defenders.
There's Harry Kane who wants to do that as well. Fernandinho is tracking back. Here's Danny Rose onto the loose ball. Danny Rose once hit one against Arsenal that set the world alight, but he didn't catch that one anywhere near as well as he wanted to.
Could have just rolled Eriksen in on the left there.
You can see Spurs here trying to press. Look, a lot of players pressing up. Look, the keeper just goes bang.
What a pass that is.
What a ball that is. They've got, he's took out, what, 7-8 players of Spurs, and now they're 3v3.
Here's Leroy Sané. Manchester City threatening and Sané wide. Before we make a case here, Glenn, the best passer of football on the pitch is Edison, the Manchester City goalkeeper.
He's at the best passes today.
At the moment, you've got to say, he's taken the ball he's just played there has taken 7 or 8 players out of the match. It's an incredible pass.
Look how the way City, the 3 forwards, sprints forward, waiting for the pass. Look at that.
Gets a top one up towards Leroy Sané here. Trippier has fouled him. Here's Eriksen. It's a foul by Dembele. Just keeping an eye here on Gabriel Jesus, who came out of that last challenge and then signalled to the City bench. I'm not sure whether he's got a problem or whether he's got a problem with a piece of his equipment.
Yeah, I think he wants to change his boots.
Yeah, he's on the move now. Sané with the ball. Here's Gundogan. And now Walker. Walker would love a goal today against his old club. Sterling wasn't expecting that. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Sterling's offside. Let's have a look at this Harry Kane challenge then and bring in Graham Poll. Graham, what do you think?
Yeah, Fletch, quite often you'll see a replay of an incident in slow motion. It looks a lot worse, and this one is one of those because of the way it lands there, and you all go out. But I think at full speed and the intensity that isn't in that tackle, I think Paulson's got that right with a yellow card.
Thank you, Graham. Well worth having another look at that one. That's Fernandinho. The next goal in this match is going to be so important, isn't it? Because it would give City daylight if they were to get it. As the Tottenham goal changes the balance completely.
Persistent fouling, isn't it, from Dembele? I don't know how many times he's fouled today, but it must be 8 or 9 times, and in the end, the referee's got to book him.
It's 2 bookings apiece for the respective teams, and a confirmation of that change of footwear for Gabriel Jesus. You called that right, Steve. Wasn't happy straight away, was he?
Yeah,
he said to his manager, that's why I didn't control it when they played that ball in.
I want me Reds ones, he said. It's Christmas, I want me Reds ones. Those gold ones are rubbish.
I'd have scored with me red ones. Danny Rowe's got the final touch. He's actually got one of each at the moment.
Yeah, he's got one of each on, He just changed his left foot. It's his left foot he wants.
I just can't decide which I like the most. Stick one of each on. There's Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne from a really tight angle. Needed somebody in the middle to apply the finishing touch.
I think Lloris was good there as well. I think he sussed that, look, as the ball comes across, if he touches this, he touches it into the path. And just lets it go by. He had the angles right. Oh.
Lloris got away with that. Jan Vertonghen was alert. Winks is now under pressure from Gundogan.
There you go. You could see it coming about 10 passes away, couldn't you? Straight away you could see it.
Is it compulsory that you've got to take goal kicks and pass it out to 5 yards from your byline? It's incredible, actually.
I saw Huddersfield concede a goal against Chelsea in midweek by doing exactly
the
that.
same and all.
Here's Christian Eriksen for Tottenham. They're still only 1-0 down with 18 minutes gone in the second half. There's been a lot more even than the first one was.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy actually, the second half, isn't it? A few mistakes, a couple of injury, the substitutions just cut the game up a little bit.
Kane finds the right back Trippier, and now Son. Kane has been joined by Dele Alli in the middle. Son's gone for goal himself. He's a player full of confidence at the moment, Heung-min Son.
A nice little run from Harry Winks just to create a bit of space, but I think he's got 4 in 4 games, isn't he, Son? You can see why he's on leash one, but no, the balance, he was off balance, wasn't over the top of the ball. And it's quite an even game, isn't it?
The big difference is those passes in the final third where City have had the ball quite a lot more. It's an important challenge on De Bruyne by Dyer. Kane can chase this one. Gatler's quick at the back for Manchester City. The pace of the player has never been his problem here. Sloppy from Delph. Trippier needs to keep it in front of Fernandinho. Here's Dele Alli. Harry Kane was on the run. Ricochets here to Dembele. And Jesus
too slow, Dembele.
Oh, here's Walker. Tongan spotted that one. Danny Rose for Tottenham. Looking to have a run against his former teammate, his former partner in crime on the other fullback position, and he's fouled Kyle Walker.
It looked as if he pushed him, to be honest. I was hit out how far away. Kyle Walker's in front of him, it's a push, isn't it? I just think some of the Tottenham players are just a little bit off the mark today. They're a little tiny bit slow. Dembele getting into it. Rose at times has been cut. I know Kyle Walker's quick.
Fabian Delph can run away from Son. Dembele didn't quite get there. Gabriel Jesus. Now Sterling. Important challenge on it by Rose, who might well have hurt himself in the process. Jones has had a stretch and is back up on his feet for Tottenham.
Yeah, he did well there, actually, getting back.
Nicholas Otamendi for Manchester City. 21 minutes gone in the second half. City 1, Spurs 0. Gundogan bringing the home side forward. Now De Bruyne. First time to Leroy Sané. Jesus has gone into the box. Sterling's in there as well. Sané on the charge. Good save by Lloris. And then how did Raheem Sterling not finish that? Wouldn't have counted anyway. I think he was offside. The first save from Lloris was so important.
Yeah, this is a Sané with his pace again. Doesn't go left this time, just drives forward and just skips right past Trippier. It's the shot.
He looks
onside. He looks onside.
Looks onside. I think Lloris just reaction, it comes back out to him on the half volley. It's not as easy as it looks, but should still score.
Flag went up straight away, didn't it, by the assistant on the other side out there, Adam Nunn. Dele Alli went in for that one. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. And Craig Pawson's giving himself some thinking time here, and a yellow card for Dele Alli.
Have a look at this one. I guess the ball first, I think, doesn't he, Dele Alli?
Let's bring in Graham Paul. Graham, what do you think about this?
We've had some strong challenges today, and a couple could have been red cards. I think that one definitely is a red card, because Ali knows what he's doing there. He's over the top of the ball, and he's caught De Bruyne.
Thank you, Graham. Graham Paul says red card there, Steve.
He knows better than me. I thought Dele Alli just gets a little bit of the ball first, and then his follow-through gets De Bruyne's ankle. Certainly looked bad.
I think if the referee had given a red, I think we'd be standing up here saying, yeah, he's got a touch of the ball, but he's gone over the top of it at the end of the day, and he's caught the player. It was one of those 50-50 ones that you'd be getting. Some refs will give it, some won't. In slow motion, it does look worse. It looks so much worse. But you could see why any referee could send a player off there. There's no doubt about it.
I think it's that balance, isn't it, again, between whether you get a touch on the ball and how significant the touch is, and then what the follow-through's all around.
And if the letter of the law is, if Graham says it's a red card, I mean, outside with the referee, they know more about the laws of the game than I do. As I said, when he gets a bit of the ball and his follow-through gets the man, that's when you worry.
Let's just bring Graham back in on that while De Bruyne has sorted himself out. Graham, when you do get a touch on the ball, whether it's slight or what, how significant has it got to be before that becomes a factor?
In this situation, it's not significant because he's just touched the top of the ball, and he's looking at the player, and that's why I'm saying it's red. It's different from the Harry Kane one, which is an accident, but he's caught him. This one, he's actually looking, and I think he knows what he's doing, hence a red card.
Thank you, Graham. So that explains the process, the thought process of the referee, and maybe he's looking to get away with that one with just a yellow card. Dele Alli. Now the good news for City is that De Bruyne is okay and preparing to come back on.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? He's up and about.
It's Moussa Dembele for Spurs. Just over 20 minutes to go. Harry Kane. To let it run. Fernandinho was waiting to take it off him from behind. Dembele's tackle, and they've got men over down the left, City. Here's De Bruyne. Sané's on his way to the middle. Sterling's already in there. He didn't need anybody, did he? Because he just lashed that past Hugo Lloris. It went like an intercept past the Tottenham goalkeeper, and it doubles Manchester City's lead. Kevin De Bruyne again. City 2, Spurs 0.
Well, he took a soul one from that Dele Alli challenge, what, less than a minute, 2 minutes ago, and he's gone up to show that there's no ill effects whatsoever. Sané makes a really nice run, but he just completely ignores him because he knows he scored a couple already. Mistake by Harry Kane, actually, but they break quick. Gabriel Jesus does really well here, gets a little bit of a mess, but flips it round, and then the breaking. Sané makes a good run, but no chance of passing this. I'm just smashing that. As I said, he scored a couple like that this year with his left foot. Sheer pace and power. And he's added another one to the tally.
And what was brilliant that he took Dyer inside. He created that space himself. And Lloris gets a hand to it. Can he do better? Mind you, it was travelling, wasn't it? But that little bit of taking Dyer inside to outside, and then wow. And how quick did they break from Harry Kane's mistake? They were through the midfield area into the last third in the blink of an eye. And they're in a very comfortable position now.
Well, I've no doubt there was a little bit of venom, a little bit of extra venom in the shot from Kevin De Bruyne after being clattered, as Steve says, a couple of minutes earlier by Dele Alli. But that's such a big goal for Manchester City because it gives them daylight and it makes this mountain for Tottenham to climb that little bit steeper. 19 minutes to go. City have got the 2-0 lead, and now they'll be looking to try and pick off Spurs, Steve, as they come at them.
I mean, it has been a bit scrappy this second half, as I mentioned before, but I think the second goal's been scored by the standout player of this on the pitch. He's turned himself into a wonderful centre midfielder, isn't he?
He's hit some fantastic passes, isn't he? The ones that have hurt Tottenham.
And Tottenham haven't shown anything really, have they? They've been in this second half, but without making any good chances.
Danny Rose able to keep that one in. Gets it back from Jan Vertonghen.
They need to go forward someday, Tottenham, even if they put one over the top, just to spread the play a little bit.
There's Son, only to Nicolas Otamendi. 16 straight Premier League wins on the horizon, 52 points. He is also on the horizon after 18 matches, which is an astonishing total at this stage for City, which is where they'll be. And they've got a taste for it now, Gabriel Jesus.
Oh, he could have done anything, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Sane, Sterling, he could have done anything, and he chose the wrong option. He's not that quick. He's not that quick, Gabriel.
Jesus is saying, well, he could have chased it.
He done the right thing going inside. Look at Sterling, and all he had to do was bide his time a little bit. It's those boots, it's that left boot of his. That's what it is, since he changed it.
That's the thing about City. Two examples. De Bruyne's goal and that chance there. They can out-possession you and get possession and take the ball away from you, but also when you're coming at them, they can counter on you. They've got the pace and the ability to pick you off.
There's Walker weaving through. Sane's more satisfied by that ball. Forces Trippier back and then was looking to tee somebody up. Eriksen was back there helping out. Really touched by Delph. It's nicely done by Dele Alli. Dembele though was moved aside by Jesus.
It's only nicely done if you pick your own man out.
It's a fair point, Steve.
Do you know what I mean? Give it away. It's been too much of that today.
I think Dembele's a bit of a worry as well on a yellow card. You sense that he's just got to miss time one and they could be down to 10.
You'd probably say the same about Dele Alli.
Dele Alli
short fuse that he carries. Gundogan, that's a lovely ball. Here's Kevin De Bruyne, and he's gone down. And the referee gives the penalty. Jan Vertonghen, one belted on the other. And City have got a penalty.
It was Eric Dyer lost it, just being sloppy yet again. Said it on numerous occasions. De Bruyne is on. I think we all know what that is. It was the easiest decision of the game, that. Once he goes to ground and he skips round them.
Well, Kevin De Bruyne has left the responsibility here to the substitute Gabriel Jesus, and a chance to put Manchester City out of sight against Tottenham Hotspur at the Etihad. Jesus against Lloris, and he's missed it. And the follow-up missed as well by Sterling.
We're still in the game because of that. It's still a long shot. Missed the post, falls to Sterling on his left peg again. He fires it high and wide over. There you go. Up.
It's just
over
the top. The power's already there. It's coming back with so much pace. Just stay over the top of it.
It's those boots again, Steve.
The red or the gold one? Which one was it?
Whichever one it was, Glenn, it was the wrong one.
Sterling hasn't got a pair of them as well, has he?
Delph with the foot in. There's Winks. Just wonder whether that lets Tottenham off the hook a little bit. 14 minutes to go. They were 2-0 down here last season and came back to get a draw. It's a really tall order today, though, if you can bear it. Third test day for England, well and truly under the cosh. 2 o'clock, 1 HD. The coverage on BT Sport has been brilliant. The England team haven't been able to match it, though, out there in Australia. Eric Lamela on for Heung-min Son. Lamela, who's had that long spell out with the hip problem, back and available for Tottenham Hotspur. There's Kieran Trippier. Harry Kane's on his way into the box. Eriksen's in there to join in. And Gala's clearance only to Lamela. He's done well here, Eric Lamela. Will it fall for Winks? It will, if he can work his way through. Well, in the end, he couldn't pull the trigger. And then he has it taken off him by De Bruyne.
I thought he was going to fall over. That was going to be the
best opportunity of the day, didn't it, for Spurs?
I thought the challenge on Fernandinho, I thought he was going to go to ground.
He worked hard to stay on his feet.
Yeah, he did.
That's great.
That was brilliant.
There's not many times Spurs have hit that ball on there. You think he's going to hit it?
That one there, I thought he was going.
Yeah. Well, he was honest. He was honest in his play. He could have laid his leg up against that tackle there. He could have put his right leg against him. He skipped gone down.
He skipped over it to stay on his feet.
And he's been honest there. And it's refreshing to see, but you know what? Perhaps he'll learn something from that.
Let's just bring in Graham Poll, because Graham's watching it with us as well. Is that one of those decisions, Graham, where by the fact he's stayed up, he doesn't get the penalty? If he goes down, he gets it?
Absolutely right. And if he's just gone into the legs in front of him, so if he caught that going through, it's an absolute certain penalty.
Thank you, Graham. Remains Manchester City 2, Tottenham 0. City have missed a penalty. Tottenham had a good chance through Harry Winks.
Going backwards again. Going backwards again.
Eric Lamela made his first start of the season for Tottenham in midweek against Brighton. He's committed the foul here. It's been niggly, hasn't it, this one? It's been one or two
second
feet
half
have just been left in.
Yeah, second half particularly.
It's a lot of players getting there just late, isn't there? Just getting there late, missing the ball and taking your opponent.
Touched by Gundogan, under pressure, still got it there to his teammate Sane.
Another silly one, another silly one. Manchester City are going nowhere. They're down, pegged in. Lamela kicks out of Fabian Delph. Pochettino must be going crazy. I mean, what on earth are they doing to help the team out at all?
City, as they stand at the moment, are 6 points better than the eventual champions Chelsea were at this stage of last season. They've also got 13 more points than they had themselves after 17 games in the first season under Pep Guardiola. And they could go on and set records if they can maintain the kind of pace that they're on now. There's De Bruyne skating through again, supported by Gundogan, and then Leroy Sané, and then he tees up Raheem Sterling, and he doesn't miss that one, and it's a typical City goal, sharp, incisive and clinical. City 3, Spurs 0.
Yeah, and it's De Bruyne again, though, just steals the ball off Dembele off a simple throw-in, breaks forward. Leroy Sané puts it on the play for Raheem Sterling. He's certainly not going to miss today. You see, he's almost saying, thankfully I got one today. Look at this throw-in. Poor touch again by Dembele. Can't foul De Bruyne because he's on a yellow card. Just skates away from him, picks a pass. This lovely pass by Gundogan. Is he offside? Oh, no. Fine, lovely tapping. He holds his run. Raheem Sterling, he was offside and then pulls back. He's got a tap in.
Again on the break, Trippier just gets caught in a bad position. He's onside, he's level with the ball. And talk about punish a team on the counter.
They're the ones you want, aren't they, then? They're
Well,
the ones you want.
Yeah, that's his 14th goal of the season, Raheem Sterling, and he's now on his own as the top scorer for Manchester City. He's gone one ahead of Sergio Aguero. It's all about the weight of pass all the way through the move, wasn't it? The one from Gundogan opened them up superbly.
This has been a really good performance by Manchester City. No David Silva, there was only a few question marks because City are playing that well. But Gundogan's come in and been heavily involved. He's been excellent. De Bruyne again has stepped up to the mark, and it's been a really good performance.
That's why they're so good as well. Trippier just gets caught just a fraction out of position, bang, the ball's in behind him before you know it.
Eric Lamela gives chase. Fabian Delph there ahead of him.
The thing is, Flex, there's just a 40-yard clearance by Vertonghen. At least now Tottenham are up that end of the field with a throw-in. They're passing it around so slowly and statically at the back. Just get caught all the time.
There's Dele Alli. Gala's come out to help Fabian Delph. A goal kick to City. More frustration for Tottenham. There's an interesting observer today for the Borussia Dortmund manager Thomas Tuchel, who's here today as a guest of Pep Guardiola. And you wonder whether he might find a place in the Premier League as a manager coming up, as Ilkay Gundogan exits the pitch, having scored the first goal for Manchester City today.
Oh yeah, it's a nice header by him, and he's had a really good performance. Put one on a plate there to Sane, who knocked it into Sterling, and it's good to see young Phil Foden getting a good opportunity against a good quality outfit in the Premier League.
So an established City international replaced by a potential star of the future, 17-year-old Phil Foden, who made his debut against Feyenoord as a substitute in November and then started against Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League earlier this month. Pep Guardiola has described him as special, Glenn, which is lofty praise, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen him more than a few times now. He's a very, very impressive young player, and he's got a bright future. Just hope he can get enough football in the next couple of seasons.
Dele Alli replaced by Moussa Sissoko.
It's interesting, they've got a goal kick, and the three up front for City have taken Spurs three right the way back, almost at the edge of their own area, and Spurs defenders went with him. I've never seen that before. That's intriguing, because he can hit that ball on the spot, the keeper, that far.
And when they did whack it forward, Leroy Sané attacked it like an old-fashioned number 9, didn't he, to flick it on. City are going to send on another box of tricks. They're going to send on Bernardo Silva. That'll be the final change made by Pep Guardiola today. 6 minutes away from another victory. 6 minutes away from extending their lead at the top of the Premier League table to 14 points before Christmas.
Incredible, isn't it? Incredible.
You'll see Tottenham again next week. They'll be looking for a reaction. They're at Turf Moor, which is not an easy journey for them against Burnley. And a couple of games as well, just leading up to the New Year. Saturday the 30th of December, United against Southampton. And you will see City again the following day. They're in the capital against Crystal Palace, 11:30 on New Year's Eve. The coverage starts. Leroy Sané's coming off for Bernardo Silva. He's been excellent today, hasn't he?
He really has.
Or is he coming off?
Is he? Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. I'm not sure Pep wanted to take him.
I was going to say that, yeah.
No, he's been excellent, and we saw first half how he changed of pace to go on the outside, but then he comes on the inside and creates a lot, but he's defended well. He's been excellent today, yes.
It's an embarrassment of riches when your £43 million summer signing comes on as your third change on a day when you've not got David Silva at all. Here come hungry Manchester City again. He's straight in on the action. Hugo Lloris was down. It was Bernardo Silva straight away. Tottenham captain got a touch. It is a City corner.
Yeah, he was just spinning away from Bernardo Silva. He just had to stretch for that. Gets a touch though, and it's the post. Again, it was De Bruyne.
He scored against Tottenham last season, Bernardo Silva, as a Monaco player in the Champions League. Foden's corner. Cleared as far as Fabian Delph. Here's Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling. Now De Bruyne. Sterling, Foden, Jesus on the move in the middle. And Lloris with the catch. Never really found a way all match, Glenn, have they, Tottenham, to be comfortable about what they need to do? There's always been an element of being hurried about them.
There's a bit of a panic at the back there. They've caused their own problems as well. They've given the ball away in areas just like that again. But they haven't got through City's midfield and at that back four, really, have they?
Danny Rose with a tackle inside his own box there. Foden's got it back again now. Delph. It's Kane, and now Lamella. Eriksen's on the move down the Tottenham left. Kane through the middle. Here's Eriksen. Walker takes it off him, assisted by Nicolas Otamendi. Now Bernardo Silva. It's 3-on-3 here. Kevin De Bruyne. Jesus on his way. Here's Sterling. Tottenham in trouble again. Hugo Lloris with a save.
Again, what a super pass from De Bruyne. He's picked out. He's allowed them to go forward. He's picked out Sterling, who's coming in behind. There's the shot. Oh, the right top corner. Good save from Lloris, but a lovely ball again from De Bruyne to Sterling.
I think that must be the fourth shot he's hit with his left foot there. He will try and score with his left foot this afternoon. But you can see why he scored so many goals, Raheem Sterling. He's had numerous chances today. Gets on the score sheet again.
The numbers suggest that if City can maintain this pace, they'd end the season with 110 points and 116 goals, which would smash the records in both categories. And it is going to take a heck of a side or a pretty big off day to slow this team down.
Very much so.
Because you know they're going to score, Steve.
If they keep playing like this, it will take some superhuman effort from another side.
Seems like the biggest test they're going to face are going to be after Christmas in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's Ben Davis who's going to be coming on for Tottenham, the final change for Pochettino. Danny Rose off. What about the man of the match today then, Steve? Is this straightforward?
Yeah, the man of the match is Kevin De Bruyne for me. I thought he's been superb. Been involved in everything that City have done well, and of course he scored the important second goal. I thought they've had a number of good players. City, Leroy Sané, I thought was being excellent as well. But he's been the man, he's been the star man yet again.
Glenn, you're nodding in agreement as well. Dyer's missed it. Here's Sterling. He's around Hugo Lloris, and he can walk in number 4. A double on the day for Raheem Sterling, and an exclamation point on a fantastic Manchester City display.
Just punished again. Well, as Glenn mentioned before, Tottenham have added to it all, haven't they? That was another poor mistake. Sterling was there on the end of it. Simple ball in by Bernardo Silva. Eric Dyer just misses it. Well, he gets a slight touch on it and it goes through the keeper's legs and walks it into the net. Poor, unfortunately for Tottenham. He gets a bit of fortune there, doesn't he? I don't even think he gets a touch on it, Sterling.
It's a 4-0 win at the moment, Glenn, on a day where you feel City have left a few goals out there.
Oh, absolutely. Could have had more. They could have had more. No doubt about that. And they're just a brilliant side. I can't see anyone catching them. I really can't. Tottenham, to be fair to them, have come and tried to press them up high, where a lot of teams come here and they just bank in and make it hard. But this is a problem. Other clubs are going to be looking at that and say, well, if you do that, look what happens to you. And then the other way, they can grind you down with their possession.
There's a flare-up between Fernandinho and Sissoko, and a yellow card for the Tottenham man.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was for the challenge on Fabian Delph, or whether it was for the pushing and shoving with him with Fernandinho.
They are starting to ask the same questions now about tactically what you do to beat this Guardiola City team that they used to ask about him when he was at Barcelona.
Yeah, but also I think the opposition side when they do get some of the ball, they have to be better and they have to be quicker and they have to have more quality. And Tottenham haven't done that today. There's the stamp there. Tottenham have had possession in their City half at times, but they've been really lax and very, very slow. The Blue Moon?
Yeah, there's the Blue Moon, and they're singing the famous song here at the Etihad as well. These City supporters have been royally entertained again by this brilliant football team. Been excellent to watch again today, ruthless when they've had to be, creative throughout. Eriksen looking to set Harry Kane through it, would have been nothing more than consolation.
Trying to feed off scraps today, isn't he, Harry Kane? Hardly had a touch, unfortunately.
No service
at all, no.
He's managed to bamboozle some of the most creative minds in football so far this season with this team, Guardiola. There's Eriksen with a shot, and they do get something from their trip to Manchester today. No celebration from Eriksen, it's a consolation goal. And it at least puts a half smile on the face of some of those Tottenham supporters. City 4, Tottenham 1.
And they won handball there, Fernandinho on Eriksen, but Eriksen just carries on like he should. And as he's running across goal, it's a nice finish actually by him. Going one way, Ederson's walk going across to the right, and he pings it back across himself to the left.
I think he catches him by surprise.
Yeah, he does,
yeah.
Yeah, does.
Means that's only one clean sheet in 7 matches now for Manchester City, so you can score against them, but the problem is they can score more than you.
Yeah, I don't think that matters really when you're scoring 6.
I was just trying to offer some kind of solace to the rest.
No, there's not. There's no solace at the minute. One team are excellent and they're running away with it.
Well, there's the full-time whistle. It's another win for Manchester City. When will this runaway train of a Premier League team finally be slowed down?